My name is Lizi Angel and I'm a dog behaviour psychologist, which means that I'm interested in the psychology of behaviour, or what goes on in the dog's mind when it is doing a behaviour. The wolf's strategy of life is very different from the dog's strategy of life. The wolf is a wild animal, and the wolf's strategy of life is to stay together and hunt in packs for the best chance of survival. The dog's strategy of life is slightly different. The dog's strategy of life is to stay near humans for the best chance of survival. And that's because dogs over the centuries have domesticated themselves. And by staying near humans, and those dogs that are less fearful and are more brave, if you like, to stay near humans, have bred. And over the generations, what's happened is essentially tameness has been bred into the dog's psyche, which is something very far removed from the wolf's psyche. The wolf remains a wild animal, whereas the dog is now a tame animal. And this is why it's still easy to compare dogs with wolves, because they look similar and they do lots of behaviours that are similar, and we have a very romantic idea that it's nicer to live with a wolf than it is with a dog. But not to do dogs a disservice, we have to respect them as dogs and understand that the reason why they can live with us and the reason why we can live with them is this inherent tameness that they have. And it's important to realise that a wild wolf pack is actually made up of family members. It's not made up of unrelated animals, as the experiments that were done in the 40s of captive wolves, where they were taken from the wild, all unrelated animals, all wild animals, and put together in a community to see how they would behave with one another. That was actually a very unnatural behaviour for a wolf, because that's not how wolves naturally behave in the wild. Wolves naturally behave in the wild as a family unit, not as a pack of unrelated animals. If that pack gets too large, then some of the family members might break off and form their own pack, and then that little pack grows and that becomes a family. But that's not what dogs do. Dogs basically remain fairly solitary around human communities, and they breed together and they have litters, and then those puppies will breed and go on to have more litters. But the family units don't stay together, and unrelated dogs don't tend to form packs. There may be some fairly strong relationships between maybe 2 or 3 individual dogs, but that's usually how big naturally feral dogs pack would actually reach number-wise, with maybe a couple of dogs that get on well together. Maybe, they find a sense of security from each other, but that's as big as the numbers go. So the dog in your living room is a tame animal. The wolf is a wild animal. They're many, many, many tens of thousands of years separated in behaviour and separated in the psychology of their behaviour.